Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. We'll start with meeting etiquette. Silence your microphone when you're not talking. Type your questions in the chat. Presenters will answer the questions in the chat or after the meeting, and stay for the open forum afterwards if you still have questions or want to hang out or discuss. And then we'll also, you can also send them an email at any time. But we're just trying to keep this a little smooth. The meeting format is a little weird. Like only one person can really talk at a time outside the chat. And like a million pieces of back and forth that'll just drag on forever. So this is our general meeting etiquette. And if you have any suggestions on what we should consider for this, feel free to reach out. Just so we can add it to the slide, take some stuff out. All right, onwards. Okay, today we are going to do our general party updates. This is our monthly meeting that's normally going to be held on Tuesday. That would be held on election day, but held a few days before so as not to conflict. We're going to have some officer announcements, which will not be very exciting, I promise you. And we're going to hear from some of our committees and working groups. And we're going to have a deeper discussion about what you can do to help our Green Party candidates on election day, which is me. It's kind of weird to talk about, but yes, I need help on election day. And we're also going to do like the usual stuff, like approving our minutes from previous minutes. And we're going to talk about whether we want to co-sponsor this social alternative and sunrise rally. And also we're going to have a broader discussion about post-election scenarios. It's going to be more of an open discussion. Then we are going to wrap up the meeting, and then we'll have an open forum for any sort of off-topic or lingering questions that you might have. All right, onwards, Garrett. All right, start with general party updates. So we have a Google Calendar that you can find on our website at AlleghenyGreens.org. You can just add that Google Calendar to your calendar, and you'll always be up to date on what's happening in our party, events that we co-sponsor, and our own events. And then if you want to add anything to the calendar, you can. Oh, I think this means if you want to be added to the internal calendar, you can shoot Garrett an email. His email is shown there. But yeah, we try to keep this calendar updated. And yeah, this is where the events that we co-sponsor go. They'll go on this. All right, next.
Yeah, to be a little clear, there's a public events calendar, which is all the stuff that we just invite the general public to. And then there's a separate internal events calendar, which is like committee meetings and stuff that are anybody can go to, but more member focused.
Okay, next one. All right, these are upcoming events. So on, it should say on Wednesday at 5 p.m. is this Sunrise and Social Alternative rally that we're talking about whether we want to co-sponsor or not. And then also on Tuesday is, Tuesday's election day. Tuesday's the big day. That's election day. Tuesday, November 3rd. And we're also going to have a results watch party at 9 p.m. Ron, are you leading up that event? Who's the point person on that?
Yeah, I'll be running the account that night, and then we can all get on. I'm hoping some campaigns can jump on and tell us how they think they did, tell us some stories about their campaigns, kind of give us the feel of the election season.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll probably try to lead a board game breakout group, try to like not obsess over the results for a little bit. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so on Saturday, we have a return of Stop Banking the Bomb at the Southside PNC location on Carson Street. We've co-sponsored the Stop Banking the Bomb campaign for a few years now. It's just the next picket. And then that evening, there's going to be a virtual trivia night for, I guess it's like centered in, it's hosted by the Green Party of Westmoreland County, but it's open to all Greens from the Southwestern Pennsylvania region. So that should be fun. And then our next General Assembly meeting is going to be, what is this? Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Green Party of Pennsylvania meeting. It's going to be on Sunday, November 15th. And I think we're going to be talking about our 2021 budget for the state party. And all this month on Fridays at 5 p.m. starting November 13th, we're going to start talking about our 2021 goals and strategy. And I think it might be a little focused on, it's focused on policy and platform. Maybe we'll also be talking about what kind of target races we're thinking about and what our strategy is. And then our next General Assembly is going to be Tuesday, December 1st. Okay,
I have a question about this.
go for it.
I do too.
I understood that the Socialist Alternative and Sunrise Rally was on Wednesday, not Tuesday.
That is correct. It's on November 4th, Wednesday.
Okay.
This is a mistake, but
Okay. All right. Fine.
fix it in your head. And it's also, I think it's correct on the calendar. And also if we vote to co-sponsor it, we'll make sure everything is right.
Okay, this
Claire,
is,
did you have a question?
well, I had two questions. Beth asked of clarification. Beth said my first one. My second one I'm trying to find. One Hood, BYE, and some other African American group are also having a protect the result rally or let every vote count rally on Saturday on the south side on Carson Street. I have to find, I have it somewhere. I'm looking for it to give you more.
That's where Stop Banking the Bomb's going to be.
Yeah, but your thing is at 11. Theirs is later.
Oh.
So much later. I think it's at 5. I'm trying to find it.
So I'll just say, when it comes to events, there are like a ton of events that go on, and the ones that we kind of decide to co-sponsor, generally, groups will have to ask us if we want to co-sponsor it, and then we'll kind of have a vote on it, whether we want to co-sponsor it or not, and then we'll encourage everyone to attend. But until then, all of the other events are kind of like on your own. It's always good to have greens to go with. There's like a bunch, like I go to a bunch of events with just like a handful of greens, and it's always a great time.
Yeah.
When it comes to our co-sponsoring events, generally I think we expect to be asked if we're going to co-sponsor something.
Yeah, I think whether we're asked or not, this is a good one to go to because it's coming from the Black community, so we want to participate. We
Yeah.
might. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I mentioned it. And when I find, I'll send it to you guys in the Slack when I find it again.
Yeah, the Slack is a good place to kind of like rally people to go to things. That's like our kind of like, hey, this is happening this week. Let's get together and attend.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions? I'm going to move on. All right, Garrett, next slide. All right, these are all our committees and the contact information of our committee leads. This is the same slide as last month. Everything is the same. All the leaders are the same. Okay, next slide. Wait, were we supposed to talk about some of these committees, Billy? Was that the idea?
No, it's just there so that in case people, it's just like, here's our contact info slide.
Okay, cool. Okay, I guess this is the state committee update and the national committee updates. State committee. Who has been following state committee things?
Garrett can talk about it. There's a slide for it later in the presentation.
Earlier or later?
This is later on in the presentation. He has a slide talking about nominations coming up.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to state committee updates. National committee updates. National committee has been generally quiet. The Lavender Caucus, their proposal to disaffiliate the Georgia Green Party for saying transphobic things, that's kind of like working its way through the process. And I will probably vote to sign on to it, whether we should sign on to it or not, at the Green Party of Pennsylvania meeting coming up this month. But that's like the main thing that's been happening. Oh, also there's a code of conduct policy that's been winding its way through the national party that's been, I don't know, it's kind of presented and then withdrawn. So that's something that's just being discussed right now. There's a lot of controversy about the code of conduct. And then, yeah, a bunch of us are in the Young Greens caucus, and energy's picking up there. Social media is getting going. And yeah, I don't know, we're just growing. We're in a growing phase right now for the National Youth Caucus. All right, let's move on. Kelly, can you give us a quick treasurer report?
Sure. So in October, we netted almost $300. We had, oh, actually, sorry, it was 263. The 290 is supposed to be the gross income. And then we spent $27. The spending was all just the Zoom membership and donation processing fees. Our total available balance after this month is about $1,700. And we got 5 new dues paying members in October, 3 annual and 2 monthly. And they were all entered into a raffle for a free t-shirt, a Green Party t-shirt, just like the one I'm wearing, and a poetry collection by our media coordinator, Ron. And the winner of that prize is Connor Mulvaney. Congratulations. So Connor gets a free t-shirt and a book. Thank you to all of our new donors. Let me just find the list really quick. Connor, Richard Weiss, Prem Rajgopal, Emily DeFerrari, and Mel Packer. Thank you all for donating. I also forgot to include Alex Ludi last month when I listed all of our members, so sorry about that. But now we are up to 27 dues paying members, which is really awesome. I would love to get to 50 by the end of the year for the start of 2021. That would be super awesome. So Finance Committee will be ramping back up after the election. So just stay tuned for news about that. If you haven't already signed up for dues, you can sign up at AlleghenyGreens.org/donate. If you don't want to do the online thing, that's totally fine. Email me at treasurer@AlleghenyGreens.org, and I will contact you about how to pay by check or cash or whatever. That's it.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, Garrett, take us to the next slide. Committee and working group updates. All right, kicking it to Ron for the media committee.
All right, so we didn't put out a newsletter this month because of the election. I figured the campaigns were taking care of everything. We're going to start back up again mid-November. So we're needing blog articles. Thank you to others who've written in the past, but if anybody has a good idea for something, please let me know. I'll show you how to plug into medium.com and set you up as a writer for our account. If you can't write an article, if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable with your writing skills, I'm going to go back to what I used to say about a year ago, which is we need video. We need video content. You know, feel free to take your camera, put it in front of your face, tell us about the issues in your community that you care about and what makes you green and things like that. And we can publish that on our YouTube channel. And then we can also, disseminate that throughout our communities. And then if you can't do video, then please, feel free to snap photographs of things, items, people, events that are important to spread around, so we can do that in our photo album. Okay, and then the new thing I want to start doing, and I don't know when we're going to do this exactly, but after the election, like not this week, but coming soon, will be Sunday night socials. I have an idea that I'd like to make the Green Party a little bit more of a social gathering place as well as a policy gathering place. It's just my opinion, and it's my learned opinion, that when we have the ability to become friends and comrades and allies, we are more likely to grow and we are more likely to support each other in these endeavors. So I'd like to start having these topic discussions on fun things, gaming, movies, novels, politics of the week, things like that. Very informal, very non agenda driven conversations that could go on for a couple hours on a Sunday evening. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up this week is that on Tuesday, we're going to have an election results Zoom watch party, which Jay already brought up earlier. So if you want to, just look for the event link for Zoom in our Facebook events listing. And and just comment. Again, it'll be kind of informal. I'm hoping some campaigns will show up and tell us about the campaigns that they just ran, the candidates and their managers and their staffs. And then we can also discuss some steps going forward. And really what this is about is giving us a break from what everybody else is going to be doing, which is watching CNN or MSNBC garbage. We can actually get grassroots driven information to each other this way, rather than just relying on capitalism. So that was my idea with that. And that's it. If anybody has any questions, let me know.
All right. Next up.
All right. So the policy committee was taking a break due to everything with the election, but we're back now. Our focus right now is going to be creating a list of policies that 2021 local candidates must support in order to get our endorsement. This isn't a comprehensive list. It's just a way to make sure that the candidates we're endorsing hold our core values. Garret has a document that's based on the 2018 platform. That's going to be our starting point. We'll have weekly working sessions on Fridays at 5 to 5:45 p.m. that I'll host, and that's starting on November 13th. So that's next Friday. Everyone's welcome. These are not going to be discussion meetings. They're working meetings for you to come and add the minimum, policies that you want to see to the document if they're not already there. And then you don't have to come to every meeting or even stay the whole meeting. So there will be a final approval meeting on Friday, December 11th. And that's where we'll go through the policies, prioritize them, and then finalize that endorsement list. And we'll put that list to a vote at our January meeting. If you can't attend the working meetings, fill out the Google form. I'll post it in the chat in the Slack, and I can plug in your points for you. Some people may have already done this since I posted it on Facebook. And always feel free to reach out if you have any questions about this. Thanks.
All right, Garret, I'm kicking this one to you.
Yeah. All right. So in terms of the State Green Party of Pennsylvania, Jay kind of covered the stuff for the national committee. So focusing only on the state. Our State Green Party of Pennsylvania has been a little bit quiet. Like everything, everyone is focused on the 2020 election, basically. So we're coming up on, getting ready for next year's organizing and campaigns and things like that. So kind of the biggest item of interest probably is that we'll be nominating and electing new officers and team leads for the next couple of years. Unfortunately, a number of our state steering committee had to resign or step down because of personal work issues. A couple of them moved out of state and things like that. So we're kind of rebuilding a whole new state steering committee. But that's a good opportunity for reorganizing and rethinking what our priorities are for the next few years. So if anyone's interested in getting involved in the state steering committee or in one of our teams, which is like the finance committee for fundraising, Green Wave for helping candidates, communications for talking to the media, and the core team, which is like administrative stuff, making sure that we have a good platform, good tech infrastructure for sending emails, communicating with volunteers, stuff like that. If you're interested in any of those teams, let me know. Our state delegates meeting is November 15th that Jay mentioned, and we'll be doing those nominations as well as probably talking about a few other issues like signing on to the Lavender Greens proposal and things like that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I think that's about it. Did I forget something?
Yeah, we should mention this this kind of like focusing thing that Matt Nemeth and Alex Darlington have proposed.
Yes.
I don't know. Should we talk about it? It's kind of a big. No, it's kind of like. Can you like summarize it in like?
Yeah, just like a brief thing would be fine.
Maybe we should let Matt do it real quick.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, I can say it. So basically, another Alex Darlington, who's a member of the new Lehigh Greens, and I worked on a proposal just to reorganize the GPPA structure. So we can make information sharing a lot more streamlined and easy for everybody, and also bring core team back online because it's been inactive for I'm not sure how long, a year or two at least. So this is just reorganizing core, bringing it back, reorganizing information sharing, and also adding a social media wing, a social media team, so they can coordinate with locals and they can focus on having more original content on a regular basis across our platforms. So that's basically it in a rundown. It's in the discussion phase right now. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about it at the next GPPA com meeting, or well, we're going to talk about the next GPPA com meeting. I'm not sure if it's going to be addressed yet at the next GPPA meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So Mel had asked in the chat, what's the core committee? And so core is perhaps a poor name, but it's the name of the sort of administrative committee for the state party. So it oversees our technical infrastructure, like our email and nation builder, and kind of sets the process for bringing in new volunteers and getting them onboarded and kind of pointing them at campaigns or whatever that they want to sign up for. It also oversees the process for updating our party platform and things like that. So kind of the core elements of a political party. It's been fairly inactive, partly because of a lot of our state steering committee stepping down and things like that, like I mentioned. So Alex and Matt have put together a proposal to help restart it and reorganize it. That would be more friendly to new members, that when they sign up, we'd have a much more clear onboarding process that'll help them learn about the Green Party, learn about green values, and get involved in activism and campaigns. So they have posted that in the state party Slack, but we can share that proposal around. I think they're working to develop that a little bit in the different committees, and so I don't know that we'll approve it at the November meeting, but over the next few months, definitely. So let us know, or let Matt know if you're interested in getting involved in that reorganizing effort.
All right, onwards. Garret. Okay, sweet. Okay, Green Wave Committee. So
yeah,
looks like,
sorry.
I should.
Yeah, no. It's going to be mostly about you. Let's see. So on election day, we need volunteers to either canvass in person, or if you're not able to do that, there should be opportunities to phone bank and text bank with some of the campaigns, particularly with either Jay or Michael Bagdis Canning's campaign in Butler and Venango County. Michael's also looking to hire a couple of people. So if there's someone that wants to help a green campaign as well as make a little extra money, you could talk to him about signing up to be a volunteer at the polls in his district on Tuesday. But in any case, there's volunteering opportunities, potentially a few paid opportunities. Meanwhile, the Green Wave Committee is similar to the policy committee, like Billy was talking about. We're going to start moving on to preparations for 2021, which involves helping people run for municipal office and kind of making that process a lot easier than it has been in the past, with what we call a campaign in the box, so that people have sort of a checklist of, here's the 5 or 10 things that you need to do to get a campaign off the ground in a borough or township or something. And then, of course, let people know what offices are available. There's some interesting offices that will be available next year that are not necessarily available in every year, such as elections judge. So we're going to kind of streamline that process. There should be a Green Wave Committee meeting in the next couple of weeks. I haven't really scheduled one yet, but I'll post it in Slack when I do, and we'll have kind of a working meeting to talk about these documents and what sort of offices we should target for next year. we got a little bit of feedback already from a survey that said that people were interested in supporting a number of smaller borough races, and then potentially maybe something big like mayor, if for like extra attention, right? If we can have a coalition with other parties or something. So we'll talk more about that strategy basically. So if you're interested in that effort, if you're interested in becoming campaign staff next year and you're interested in getting training, or if you're interested in running for office yourself, let me know. And, I'll keep you updated on our next meeting. Jay, go ahead if you want any specifics on your campaign.
I think we have something for that later. Let's go on to the next slide. Deep dives. All right, here's what I was talking about. So volunteer on election day. It's kind of our biggest day for getting out the votes. We've been kind of like getting our impressions up all over the district, flyering, lit dropping. People have been seeing them. People told me today that they've seen the literature that we dropped at their place. And this is kind of like the final ask to ask people to vote. This crowd is going to be, I think, a little bit easier than some of the crowds that we've talked to, because they're going to be people who haven't voted by mail. So they're going to, they're going in to make a decision. So, we could definitely sway people at that time. We can make that last pitch. So we need all hands on deck all over the district. There are 40 polling places, but we're targeting certain high turnout districts, districts that have a lot of voters. And I think we might have looked at how many mail-in ballots were passed in that district too, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Anyway, it's very easy for volunteers to get involved. You just fill out a Google form. It's on my website at jtingwalker.com/election-day or election-day. And it's just one day and then the election's over. So we're just gonna go all out on that one day, try to get that vote count as high as possible. And then we're gonna keep fighting for these issues after that, no matter what happens. Alex, I know you're driving, but did you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I can. Basically, just exactly what you said. This is the last great chance to, make a good impression with voters as they're going into the polls. And if you're comfortable with, handing stuff out to people, we can really, really use your help. If you're interested, be sure you fill out that form. And yeah, I'm driving right now. But at the very latest, I'll reach out to you tomorrow morning and we will get you scheduled somewhere for Tuesday. Even if you just have 2 hours of time, it would be incredibly helpful.
And big shout out to Dylan for getting a big crew of high school students together for Oil City area volunteering too for Michael's campaign. That's really awesome to see. Yeah, is there anything else I should say about elections? Kelly, is there anything you wanted to chime in with?
I had a question.
What's your question, Beth?
Are you going to be putting out official poll watchers who have the right to do things like go in to the polls themselves, as long as they're not wearing anything partisan, and literally watch, make sure everything's going right? Or are you just looking for people to hand out literature?
I am passing that question to Kelly.
All right. At this moment, we're just looking for people to be handing out literature and be, talking to voters and answering their questions outside the polling place. We haven't had the capacity to try to do more than one thing on election day. So our big focus is just going to be talking to those voters. I think that that's the most important thing. I do recognize that election integrity is the other most important thing. It's really hard to split between those two things though. So we're going to go really hard on just convincing voters and just getting Jay's name out there, because the people who are going to be voting are likely going to be people who haven't even looked at the down ballot races or haven't even heard about Jay or know his stances. So we tend to have a pretty easy time convincing people when we talk to them about Jay's campaign. They're like, oh yeah, this all sounds really good. So this is a crucial day for us. And I mean, it's my dream to be able to actually staff every single polling place in the district on election day, but that would be 250 people. So obviously that's not exactly within scope, but the more people we have, the better. And I really want to echo Alex's ask that if you have 1 or 2 hours, please just fill out the form. We will be able to find 1 or 2 hours. The 1 or 2 hours that you specify, we'll find a place for you, and it'll be so helpful for us. And I can't stress that enough. I totally understand the fear of going out in COVID. It's not an easy thing to do. And if you are not comfortable going, we can always use donations. Those are going toward printing this literature and toward online ads and toward future campaigns for Jay and for local offices. So that's my spiel on that.
Did I hear that correctly? There are 250 polling locations in Jay's district?
No, there are over 40, but there are 13 hours in the voting day.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's how you broke it down. So you have 250 slots?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah, so this is Claire. So I already had volunteered and ended up being assigned to 2 different polls. Well, I do have a whole bag full of hand warmers. So I guess I could, maybe there's a way I could, I can't imagine, but maybe I will use all those hand warmers. But I was trying to figure out how I could get some.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Claire.
Okay. And the other thing is, I told somebody that I'd be willing between my times to drive, but that's not so now because I have to, between my 2 times, I have to take my father if go to his poll, and that, believe me, is not a quick. That's not going to be quick. That's
Understandable.
That may take up all the time between my 2 poll times.
Of course. Okay, don't worry about that. Definitely, if you can, send an email or a text to me and or Alex. You have our contact information, just to, so that we have it written down somewhere. And I'll remember that you said it here, but I need it written down somewhere for me to actually take action on it.
For hand warmers, okay. The other thing is, how are we going to get our handout materials? Are you or do we have to go pick it up, or are you going to come to meet us at the polls? How's that?
Yeah, so Jay and Alex and I have been talking about that, and one possibility is that tomorrow I will get the materials to the people who have the first shift, and they'll be handing off to the people at the next shift. And we have the big plan is for the day. My apartment is basically the center of the district, so we're going to have a tent outside and have sort of a campaign headquarters set up, and people can come and hang out and talk if they want, sit in some lawn chairs under a tent, hopefully stay warm. Maybe I'll make some hot chocolate. And that's where we'll have our extra materials. So we can either drive those materials to the polling places that need refills, or as people run out or are about to start a shift and they know that their shift, their polling place is running low, they can come get them. We'll be in contact with the volunteers all day. Alex will make sure they all have his number and my number. So we'll just make sure that everyone's in communication all day, and we have a campaign headquarters to take care of refilling on literature and restaffing the locations.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, we'll be in contact with everyone about the details.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to speak to that quickly. Our plan for sure is that we are, if you're like the first person at your polling place that day, we'll be getting you your literature at some point tomorrow, and we're like coordinating that. But otherwise, there will be somebody there, like a previous volunteer, to pass off the literature to you. So no worries on that part.
So what kind of literature are we giving out?
It's going to be the 2-sided handouts that we have for Jay that have his policies. They're pretty similar to the ones he had in 2018. We've updated the copy a little bit, the text, to reflect some of our newer focuses, to reflect concern about the pandemic and about police brutality and racial equity.
Okay, shall I read that? You know, like homework or just,
No, that's not necessary. We'll also have a guide for people as to how to answer common questions, what to say to someone. You really only have 3 to 5 seconds when someone's walking in to grab their attention and, you know, let them decide whether they're going to engage with you or not. So,
are you going to email that to us or
yes,
are you going to post it in Slack?
that'll be part of the email that goes out to volunteers with their final
Okay. And
assignment.
one other question. Are we giving out poll cards for Green Party candidates?
We were not planning on doing that.
Okay.
We can talk to the state party about that, but I have no idea about that.
All right. That's the election day volunteering. Again, you can sign up to volunteer on my website, jtingwalker.com/election-day or election-day. And yeah, please come out. Please come out to volunteer if you can. This is just like trying to focus all our power into one day. All right, next slide. Motions. Okay, so first we have to approve the meeting minutes from September and October General Assemblies. Garret posted those, and I think he sent them out in an email. He posted them in Slack in the general channel. So does anyone want to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Did you read them?
So move.
Great. Does anybody want to make a second?
I'll second them. I'm Garret.
All right. Does anybody have a blocking concern? Does anyone find any issues with the minutes that we shouldn't approve them? No. Okay. So the minutes are approved by consensus. Hooray. Okay. Onwards. Oh, I think I need to drop off in a few minutes to pop on the fossil free pit call for like 10 minutes and then come back. Okay. I'm trying to think if I should do it. I guess I should do it right now. Kelly, could you take over for me right now?
Yeah.
Sorry to give you no warning.
No worries. Please
This is a
do
big,
that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll take over from here. So we talked about earlier that Socialist Alternative and Sunrise are having this rally on Wednesday at 5:30. Sorry for any confusion. And we want to talk about co-sponsoring it. Alex, since you have connections to SA and you're actually, you know, in the car with people from it, can you just talk to us about what co-sponsoring entails exactly?
Absolutely. So co-sponsoring at this point is all basically just going to be putting our name on the event and having the event on our Facebook page, sharing it to like all of our followers on social media, and really pushing and asking that Green members show up on Wednesday if possible. So that would be basically what entails co-sponsoring.
Okay. Is there any kind of like attendance commitment that we would be making? Like a number?
No, there would be no number. It would just be an ask that we, you know, try to turn out our members as best as possible. We want to, you know, it's a rally to, you know, really show that there's, you know, a mass movement ready to fight if Trump is, you know, going to try to steal the election, and, you know, where to go forward in any case. So, you know, just as many members as we can, but no number commitment.
I have a question about this.
Yeah, go for it, Ron.
Will this somehow interfere with your desire to bring out people to help with the campaign?
Not to my knowledge, because this is on Wednesday. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, as long as people don't care about being out on Tuesday and Wednesday, that's fine. I already considered that. And Wednesday's at 5:30, so it's after 9 to 5 work hours, which isn't necessarily work hours for everyone, but at least anyone who would be concerned about taking the day off from a 9 to 5 job would, you know, if they took off on Tuesday, they wouldn't have to take off on Wednesday to be at this.
I've asked some questions in chat that I hope can be answered.
Yeah. Okay, but isn't there a much larger rally scheduled already at 5 p.m. for the same place? Has SA and SR had any luck going united front with those groups, which are much larger? And if not, how will SA distinguish itself from the other? Do you know what those groups are, Mel?
Well, I believe it's just about everybody. I think One Hood Media, Pittsburgh United. It's been called nationally by Indivisible, which is hardly a radical organization. Nonetheless, everybody seems to be throwing in United Front on that thing, along with the Women's March on Washington. I think a lot of local groups. I just don't know if they're. How is one rally happening at 5:30 when this other one is happening at 5? Are you really trying to pull people out of the 5 o'clock rally? I don't quite understand, Alex.
So I can speak to this. First, I will say that this rally was actually scheduled prior to any of the other rallies being organized. The Indivisible rally was called nationwide as well, and just happens to be at the same time and place. So in this instance, we would just be co-sponsoring the turnout with the SA organization, which I will say does a lot more on the ground work in Pittsburgh and has shown up a lot more than the Women's March or Indivisible. So I think in this instance, it would be a good idea to show our solidarity with our comrades on the ground rather than like a nationwide NGO.
Okay, so to follow up on that, you're not actually proposing to try and pull people out of the other one or to do a separate one half a block away or anything, right?
No, I believe actually the Women's March organization scheduled it at the same location even.
Yeah,
So there's absolutely no intent of like siphoning away people from other actions, especially considering this one was scheduled first.
What'd you say?
this is really weird. This is Claire. I'm looking at the Protect the Result one, and it is the Women's March, and they're saying that theirs is at 4:30 a.m.
No, that's just when they post it.
You think that's a typo?
That's when they posted it, Claire, not when the time of the rally. It's at 5 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it actually says here Wednesday, November 4th at 4 a.m.
Just a typo.
It's a typo. That's what I thought. Okay.
So did you say they're going to both be at the same place? Is that right, Alex?
Yes.
So theoretically, they would kind of merge, really, right? If the first one's going is still going on at the same time.
Potentially, but not necessarily. Like I said, same place, but it'd be different organizations, which is why I think it would be good for us to show our solidarity with the organizations on the ground that we know do the work in our communities.
We probably should endorse them both.
Have they been asked? Have they been invited to endorse the other one? These are the.
I make a motion that we co-sponsor the Don't Let Trump Steal the Election movement.
I second the motion.
Yeah.
All right, so Ron made the motion and Alex and Beth have both seconded.
Mhm.
Are there any concerns? Okay, my only concern when we discussed this as an executive committee was, would we get turnout for it? But it sounds like people are pretty excited. Can I just get either a show of hands or a, maybe not I, because that sounds too much like we're voting, a me, if you plan on coming?
Can you see our hands even? Let me see.
I can see them, yes.
Oh, okay.
Can I give it depends on how things
Yeah.
are going?
Yeah,
I really hate to
Okay.
go out with COVID, but I can definitely imagine circumstances where I would go.
All right. So I
I
saw
will-
at least like 7.
I will go.
All right.
I may end up at both rallies. The end of the other one and this whole rally.
Yeah. All right. Okay, then that concern isn't blocking for me. I just wanted to make sure we actually were going to have people show up if we were going to say we were going to co-sponsor. Okay, any other concerns? All right, if no one has any concerns to voice, then this will be a vote to co-sponsor by consensus. Going once, going twice. All right, we have voted by consensus. We will co-sponsor. Garrett, can we go to the next slide?
So, Kelly, may I jump in quick?
Oh yeah, sure.
So our next slide is kind of our wrap up about formats and all. But just before this meeting, I wanted to bring up that the Pittsburgh PSL had reached out to us about a similar "Don't Let the Trump Steal the Election" event, but theirs is going to be on Friday at 6 p.m. And so I don't know if we kind of want to piggyback this slide and talk about, how people feel about that. I'm not sure why there's like another event later on. There's there's clearly a lot of like not good communication between all of the groups potentially.
So
You want to support these sort of things, and then maybe more than one action will be required anyway, right? After Wednesday, maybe a
Yeah.
follow-up rally.
Yeah, you might
Makes
know how bad things are by Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of this, this is Claire. I know that there are some people talking about, and I don't, because there's also this thing on Saturday, Garrett. There are some people talking about trying to do a pivot. And these are some people that are in the this is a large minority in Movement for Black Lives and some other Black activists who are concerned that everything's about. Hey, hold on a second. Can you be quiet? I'm on a Zoom thing. Who are concerned that people are focusing too much on just don't let Trump steal and not focusing on that, not beginning the pivot to, this is presuming that Biden's the winner, to we need to focus on putting pressure on Biden. So I don't know if any of these will be doing that, but I do know that there's a call for a general strike, and there's some other things which may, and I'll know more about it because tomorrow, the people who are talking about they're not calling a general strike for this weekend, who are talking about that. And the general strike could be if this thing goes on a long time and it looks like we're getting close to January 6th, which is supposed to be the deadline before they pick an interim president. The general strike is supposed to be if things get really bad, but also might be a way to say, okay, Biden, these are our demands. We're going to start pressing you on.
Hey, Claire, can I
Yes?
say something to you about that, actually?
Pardon me?
So that's important for us to make sure that gets out there. And I didn't think to say that in my motion and co-sponsor this event, but maybe just informally, we could just, because I can't go, I have to work. But if people who do go, could they maybe bring that up to the organizers and to the other people there and just kind of make friends and maybe not shake hands in COVID, but just like make those contacts and let people know that we're here for that purpose to prevent the destruction of democracy, but we're also here to prevent Biden's and the Democrats' destruction of democracy, because they absolutely plan to do it. I mean, I don't know if you guys who are voting Biden or plan on voting Biden or whatever you're going to do, it's your business. But I don't know if you noticed this, what he said to Philadelphia's protesters after Walter Wallace was killed. He says, "Stop looting." He wants people to know their places, and this absolutely must be fought hard. Yes. And right now we have liberals on our side we're about to lose most of them. So if we can start sowing that kind of dissent among people and letting them know that we need that, we need a general strike, or we need at least some type of pushback, that would be really helpful.
So one of the things I'm going to do is this meeting I'm going to be on at 2 p.m. to 12 noon tomorrow. I will send you guys a report back on that meeting that's talking about the whole idea of how we pivot. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Claire. Yeah,
Okay.
and to kind of add on to what Ron said, I I agree, because don't let Trump steal the election. There's a part of me that's like, the election has already been stolen because, you know, the Democrats kicked Howie off the ballot, and before that they stole it from Bernie. You know, so like, I agree that Trump is a problem, but also Biden is a problem. So I think being the focus on that is important.
Is there more information about the PSL thing, Garrett?
Yeah, I was about to say, so
Oh, okay, sorry.
I have a short event description from the PSL, so I can read that real fast for everybody. It says, regardless of the election's outcome, both major parties leave the working people behind. No support for Medicare for all, no support for the end of fracking, and both support increases in police funding, both make endless war, and much more. For this reason, it is necessary to mobilize following the election to present alternatives to what is represented by both Trump and Biden. We must demand answers to the problems of the working class outside of what is offered by the capitalist ruling class parties. So that's going to be the theme of the Friday event, which is perhaps a little bit different from Wednesday, because it takes a little bit more of a broader approach. So I don't know how people feel about that. If similar to Wednesday, you know, does anyone want a motion? They specifically asked us if we wanted to co-endorse the event and to have a speaker there and things like that. So, you know, does anyone want a motion to do that? Similar to Wednesday, who feels like they could go to an event on Friday, and, you know, so we could have a decent green turnout.
What time did you say it was?
It's 6 p.m. on Friday. I think at the City County building, just like the thing on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I don't know for sure, but I'm on board. I mean, that was a great description you gave there. I'd like to. I don't know yet for sure, but I'd like to go to it.
Yeah, I'll probably be there. We work closely with PSL through the Stop Making the Bomb stuff. So I don't know. And also, like, I went to the March Hands Off Venezuela march with them. So ever since I went to that like DC march with them, we've been tight. So I don't know. I support continuing to work together, and they're pretty supportive of us as well.
Yeah. And they were there at the Medicare for All thing. Gloria LaRiva spoke.
Everybody was there at the Medicare for All thing. That was crazy. Like SA was there, PSL was there, DSA was there. It was wild. Green Party.
Yeah. Well, in that case, you know, I'll motion to endorse the PSL event if we have people who are willing to go.
And I'll second it. And I may go. I'll see how things are.
Awesome. Does anyone have any concerns about that they want to discuss? All right, if there are no concerns, then there are no blocking concerns.
Wait.
Okay.
Can
Go
you
ahead.
guys hear me?
Yes.
So I'm not speaking against endorsing it. I just want people to realize this week is probably going to be an incredibly busy and emotional week. And there's the event on Wednesday, and then there's the event on Saturday. And I just want people to think about their own capacity to also get out and support the PSL one on Friday. And again, I'm not speaking against it. I just wanted to bring that up. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Thank you, Emily. That's a really important reminder. I've had to give myself that reminder a lot throughout this campaign season. I think we all have, and that's definitely an important thing to consider.
And that's why I said I might go. I'll try to go.
Yeah.
See how I feel. Yeah.
But we do have two people who seem fairly, you know, given things change, but fairly certain that are going to be going.
Yeah. The fact that Jay says he'll be there, so Jay tends to be a people magnet and bring people with him. So that's at least a good thing. And there are a couple people who seem like they're pretty sure they want to go. So I wouldn't say that this concern is blocking for me. As long as no one else says it is, it's definitely a good concern to be voiced. So thanks, Emily. But I'm going to go ahead and do the thing. We're going to vote by consensus. Going once, going twice. And good. All right, no blocking concerns.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And thank you for signing up to go to either Wednesday or Friday or potentially both. I think Emily had a great point there. Don't stress yourself out and overcommit necessarily. But, if you're up for it, we appreciate you representing the Green Party and in general, the larger, broader movement for the working class and whatnot. So if you can wear your green shirt or whatever, go ahead and do that. I think both organizations, both SA and PSL, told us to wear our green shirts and to bring literature, to have a table if we want, and that we have the opportunity to have a guest speaker at the event if we would like to. So if you're interested in doing any of those things, let me or Jay know. Alex is involved with the SA event, and we can put you in touch with the PSL people if you're interested in that event. So thanks, everyone, and let us know.
And I would just like to say that as somebody who can't really go to events right now, I work these weird hours, right? I work these prime time hours. Dinner time is when I work. I work lunchtime through dinner time until late night. So I'm like never available. I just want to thank people who can go to these events because they have that privilege to take the time off, or they just naturally have that time free. Or they're willing to sacrifice dollars from their jobs. I mean, that's so powerful to me. Speaking as someone who's a single breadwinner in my home, I just want to say that out loud. It's just, I find it so powerful when people can go and they can sacrifice. And I'm going to try to find that time myself whenever I am financially soluble. But right now, I just want to express that gratitude. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. That's definitely, yeah, thank you. I think that is appreciated by many.
Yes.
All right. I think that's the end of our planned meeting stuff, right? Yeah. So yeah, you can use the feedback form that I think Billy will post in the chat maybe. But there's a link to a feedback form so that you can all give feedback on this General Assembly format that we've been trying now. This is the second month. Jay asks in the chat, did you already discuss the election day scenarios? We didn't really talk about that. That's going to be our sort of open forum right now, I believe.
And we want to discuss this during our election night Zoom.
Yes. Okay, yeah, so this is the time that if there are any member announcements or proposals that haven't been covered, anyone is welcome to do that now.
Can I bring something up, an event coming up?
Yeah, sure.
So this is coming up quickly. I just found out about it. It's Monday night is Joe Biden's going to be in Pittsburgh, and he's having some kind of weird tag team event to try to get young people, I guess, with Lady Gaga. It's going to be some kind of drive-in event. There's not a lot of details yet. I guess they'll announce them tomorrow more. But if we could get a small group to go and protest, I think it would be worth it. It's not a necessary thing. I know it's, the heat of the campaign time and people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off trying to campaign and everything. But if it's something we can spare and we can get a decent group, I think it's worth it. So I just wanted to put that in here so everybody here is aware of it.
What's the date and time, Matt?
It's tomorrow night. I can look up if there's an exact time yet, but there really aren't many details yet. So because it's a presidential campaign event, and they don't release that kind of stuff until closer to it. And of course, they're doing things all the time right now. So I wish I had more detailed info, but I don't at this moment. I think Jill Biden will be there too.
Mel, you raised your hand for a sec.
Yeah,
ahead.
I certainly agree with that in principle. I think Joe Biden sucks. I fucking hate Joe Biden and all the capitalist politicians from both parties. But at this point in the game, I think you'll wind up looking like the Trump supporters in Texas who are boxing in his bus. And I don't think you really want to look like that. But I think that's the appearance and how it'll come across no matter what you do. They'll try to paint it that way. And I don't think we want to be painted that way. So you think about that. That's all. I agree. You know, I'm no fan. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I wouldn't vote for my best friend who ran as a Democrat. I wouldn't vote, for Jay as a Democrat. But you have to consider whether it's worth doing this, frankly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm afraid that the people who've already made that huge leap of I hate Joe Biden, but I'm going to vote for him anyway because it's so damned important, they're just going to resent us being out there as though that didn't mean anything.
Okay, Matt, just because people are weighing in here, I'm going to weigh in too and say we're the fucking Green Party. And I absolutely are with you on this. And you know what? I'm not going to work Monday. If you're going to go, I'll go with you and we will protest.
Oh, thank you, Ron.
We protest that warmonger and we will stand up for green values and we will not be useful idiots for the Democrats.
Yeah, I thought we could use it as a time to get attention to fracking, banning
Yes, and we
fracking,
can,
and
of course, for the issues that we stand for, of course we can.
and
I don't think you should.
What Democrats think of us. We are the Green Party. We need to act like it.
Well, I don't think you should go as the Green Party without permission from this group.
Yeah, well, that's another thing to that point.
Not, because no matter what or when we talk
and
about our issues, it's like never the right time. If that makes sense. It's like it's always like just wait another week or like wait till the next election. You can do this. So it's like I do understand what you're saying though, because that will bring a lot of hate. But it's kind of like if we speak out regardless, we're going to get some of that.
Okay, but I would like to say, like, regarding how we don't care about what the Democrats think. Yes, we do. We need their votes. That's just how it is. And I think that by pissing them off right now, when we're this close to, like, Jay has a really winnable election right now. Like, this is not a good time, I think, to do that just strategically for us, irregardless of Joe Biden and what they think. I think we are going to piss off and turn off more people by doing that than we are going to win any sort of support. Like I don't see like us gaining anything from that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I totally agree with Riley. I definitely understand the point that everyone here is making. I agree with Dylan that, no time is ever the right time, but right now is the especially wrong time. Like if there was ever a wrong time, the next 2 days is the wrong time. We can go to this thing and be like, vote green down ballot. I don't want to go to this thing and be like, fuck Joe Biden. Because
that's
no
not
one is
what
going to hear our message. There are 0 people who are going to hear that message there. It's not going to do anything for us. Like it can do something for you if you want to go and be like, fuck Joe Biden and it'll make you feel better. That's fine. But it's not going to do anything for the party.
Yeah, this wouldn't be necessarily about a candidate thing. This would be more an issue thing on policy, and at least as I envision it. And also, like Garrett mentioned in Slack, we could advertise down ballot candidates. He still has flyers, I think, and he said that if we got a group to go, we could pick some up and hand those out to anybody interested. So this wouldn't be like a screw Joe Biden and vote for Howie Hawkins last minute bid thing. That's not what my intention was for this. This would be like bring attention to the need for a fracking ban, especially in this region. And also it's okay to vote down ballot. It's not going to affect the presidential race. A lot of people going to this are going to be concerned with that because it's, a Biden thing. But just, the potential for a huge crowd, especially young people, for this, I think is an opportunity that's worth looking into.
I understand that, but like the kind of people that go to a Biden event are not the kind of people that are reluctantly voting for Biden. The kind of people that are like reluctantly holding their nose and voting for Biden, even though they hate him, are like not going to dumb pandering events with Lady Gaga. They're
I'm gonna disagree.
I think there's going to be a lot of
that-
people to go just for Lady Gaga, to be honest,
Yeah,
not even for him.
like personally, partly considered just for Lady Gaga.
And it's a free event. I mean,
I'm worried. Like,
guys,
no matter
a
what
group
you
of Pittsburgh or Allegheny County residents who are going to be and supposedly at least, I don't believe it, but supposedly they believe in progressive politics. And if we could go there and have a sign, I mean, I guess I'd have to make one that said ban fracking, and we had our Green Party banner. That's eyes on us. I'm sorry, that's just basic communication. That's basic communications tactic. That's guerrilla tactic. It's no different than what Michael Baggs Canada is doing right now by broadcasting PowerPoints against buildings. It's the exact same idea. Guerrilla tactics is all we have. We don't have the money for anything else.
I mean, like, by all means, go with a ban fracking sign, but I would not put our name on it at this particular moment. Like, as soon as the election is over, absolutely. Like, crash
I'm
all the
gonna
events.
start taking the stack, just like use the chat to get in on the stack. Okay. Sorry, but continue, Riley.
We have a bad PR problem as it is, and the majority, I think, of the people that are going to be at a Biden event are going to be the people that actually like Biden and are drunk on MSNBC and believe Rachel Maddow when she says shit like the Green Party is funded by the GOP. Like, they're going to be the type of people that scream and throw tantrums at you, like many, like they're much more likely to do something like that and tell you that, like, you gave us Trump, we hate you, than they are to ever hear you out.
They will do that no matter what, Riley. If you're right, I don't agree with you. Okay, I actually agree with Kelly on this, that there will be people there that will be susceptible to our messaging. But let's say you're right. Let's say all of them. There's not even one that's there that will never ever support us. Then you should have no problem with this, because they do this to us every time. They did. I've been a registered Green for 20 years. That's all they know. And they're never going to vote for us, by the way. Never.
can we get Stephen? Can are you looking up more details about it? It looks like you found some more information.
Yeah, I'm in the South Hills United Against Hate group, and there is somebody commenting on a post that says, my SIL got an invite. It's very limited to only 300 cars, and they are keeping the location a secret to protect the event from Trumpers. I'm not going to post it here because anyone could be watching these threads. So I don't know. I'm just reading that off the group. I don't know who this person is.
Okay. I didn't know if you found some new article or something that had more information.
No, it's just somebody saying that they were invited to it. They were a volunteer or something.
Just one quick thought. It reminds me of when Gloria Lariba came and she was talking about, like, we spend a lot of time talking to people who, like, we're talking to the wrong people, right? We're not talking to the people that are extremely disillusioned with both candidates. We're talking to people who are, like, not only holding their nose to vote for Biden, but also trying to bully other people into doing it too. We need to be, like, talking to other people. So not the people at the Biden rally, all the people who are not even hearing about the Biden rally. You know, we need to get outside of Squirrel Hill and get off campus, even the student campuses, man. It's like, those are not the people that we need to be talking to. Like, when we were gathering signatures in Coriopolis, we were talking to, like, not Coriopolis, sorry, in Carnegie. We were talking to people that nobody was talking to. And those are the types of people that, like, our party needs to reach, much more so than the people at the Joe Biden rally. Over.
Back.
Kelly, go for it. You guys can use the chat to get on the stack.
I'm just gonna say, well, okay. I'm gonna say I do think there will be people there who are not as like unabashedly pro Biden as you're saying, because Lady Gaga will be there. I'm still gonna insist on the point that the fact that he's bringing in a celebrity, it's a publicity stunt. It's not a political rally. And at a publicity stunt, the entire public is the audience. Over.
Ron, you're next. Use the chat for stack, everyone.
All right. So again, I'm gonna say it again. Kelly is right. There's gonna be a celebrity there. And you know what else is gonna be there? Channels 2, 4, and 11, and Fox. Not to mention the Tribune Review, the Pittsburgh City Paper, and the Post Gazette. I will take time off labor if Matt wants to go with me. We need more than just me. And we need a few signs. And we need our sign. And we can get on TV maybe. This is basic communications. If we can't do that, or if there's so much pushback that we don't want to do that, fine, I'll shut up about it. But this is what we need to do. We're a political party, we're not.
I just worry that that is a great opportunity for the media to smear us.
They're gonna smear us. They're gonna smear us no matter what. Hiding
Yes,
from it does not help us.
In this particular instance, though.
That Riley, got to use the stack.
Oh, sorry.
Putting Matt on this. Matt, you're up next.
To Riley's point, they're going to do that no matter what, and they've always been doing that. And there's nothing we can do about it because the corporations own the media, and they're going to try to put us down or put us in a bad light. And really, all we can do is just try to get attention. I mean, even if they cover us at all, or they just briefly say, hey, look, these people were protesting there, or even if they just show us in video footage during the event, it's going to bring attention to the cause of banning fracking and whatever else we want to get through. And as long as really, it's just about bringing the message, the policy, as much as we can into mainstream and getting people to think about it. Because not everybody is going to just immediately decide, oh, these people are crazy. Some people, out of all the people that would see this potentially, if it gets media coverage, will think about it. And that's I think what we should try to strive for if we do this. It's not, I get your point, Riley, that, you know, they're not gonna show us in a positive light probably, but there's nothing we can do about that. And we have to figure out ways to cut past it.
Who's next, Jay?
It looks like Dylan. Nope, Riley.
Lies.
It's Riley.
It's
I'm
Riley.
sorry, it's Riley.
Riley then Dylan.
Okay,
Thank you. No.
The last thing I have to say about this is that, like, you guys are right. They're going to smear us no matter what. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be careful about picking our battles, because when they smear us in ways that are just pointless and ridiculous, like that's the kind of thing that will make people look at that and go, oh, these people are outsiders, and I kind of like what they're saying, I'm going to look at them. What is not going to make people that don't know about us think that, though, is when we do something like this that looks like that, like, it's not a stretch to say that that's us trying to sabotage Biden, even though that's not what we're doing. Like, people can and will look at that, and like, it's very easy to spin it that way. It's not going to look like they're reaching. It's not going to look like they're trying to smear us. It's going to look like, to a lot of people, that that's a reasonable interpretation. So I think it's a good idea to go and bring like ban fracking signs and like try to hold Biden accountable that way, purely focused on policy. But I don't think it's a good idea to spread our name all over it right now at this particular moment, just because of how close it is to election day. If it was any other day, I would say, like, to hell with it. They're going to smear us anyway. But in this particular case, the timing is such that the smearing, I think, is much more likely to land with people than it would be normally. And
All right,
that
now we
is-
have Dylan.
That is my concern.
Right, I was going to say, I think I agree with Billy that if we can go with a positive message, like a more positively framed message, like even if they do try and smear us, it'll come off as being more ridiculous. Because I agree with Ron, like guerrilla advertising is basically the best thing we can do. It's fairly low cost, and there's going to be multiple media outlets covering it. So it's like, especially in our own backyard. So I feel like, though we shouldn't go and like take a bunch of Green Party banners, because then that'll look like we're trying to sabotage Biden, whether or not that's our deal. I think we should definitely go with policy-based signs in order to bring attention to these issues in a way that's like they'd have to cover that, I feel. So even if it was as a smear, but like it's more like a policy-based smear, like, oh no, there's these crazies trying to talk about banning fracking. Like, as opposed to like, oh, the Green Party showed up at Biden's event and like is attacking him. So if they can smear us for being anti-fracking, I think that's all right, because that's brings attention to the issue. So maybe we should go and like not in any kind of Green Party getup, but just like with signs, if that would make sense. So that way it could be played off as like people that wouldn't know us, like they wouldn't know we're Green Party, so they wouldn't know to attack us based off of that. Kind of like camouflage, I guess.
Ron, you're up next.
If we don't take this Green Party banner, there's no point in doing it at all. The whole point of getting that media moment is to have our brand out there so they know it's us. That's all I have to say.
Mel, sorry for skipping you. Go for it.
I want to speak to just plain logistics. If anybody thinks there are not already 300 cars pretty much lined up out there and probably already having orgasms over the opportunity to show up in their car with a couple of friends, you're dreaming. Most of this is planned. It will be very carefully orchestrated. It will be people that the Biden campaign already knows. They're already talking to each other about who can go. My guess is they will tell you to stay in your car. I have no idea how the hell you're supposed to put a banner out or talk to people if it's an invite, mostly invite only, probably all in, maybe it's all invite only, and a stay in your cars rally. I just don't get it. Logistically, I don't get it. And the folks who are going, absolutely true. These are folks literally, I can hear them now. They're so fucking excited about actually seeing Joe Biden. We're not going to convince any of those people. I'm not opposed to calling him out on fracking. I'm absolutely in favor of doing all that. I think it's a waste of our energy.
Okay, next up is Kelly.
I'm going to mostly agree with Ron that it's not worth it if we aren't putting our name out there. Obviously, it's worth it for the environmental movement in general. Like, yay, we've gotten out there and said ban fracking, but like a million other groups could do that. And we don't have the capacity to be doing that if we're not also trying to grow. Like, that needs to be our #1 focus right now. So I agree with Ron that it's not worth doing if we're not gonna be like, hey, we're the Green Party and this is what we think. And I also agree with Mel that it might not be worth our effort if we can't actually get in. Though, if we can just get our cars nearby, we can put the banner on my car. I've done it before. It's great. So that's all I have to say about that.
Oh. All right, Ron, you're last, and then we're going to call the question.
Okay. The object isn't to stay in the car. The object would be to walk with the banner between the cars until we're kicked out. Because that's when the cameras go on you. That's when the reporters give a shit. And yes, they'll smear us, but we got the message out. We get the Green Party of Allegheny County name out. We get the ban fracking signs noticed. Even if it's only for 30 or 45 seconds, it happens. And I'm not saying we have to stage some major protest where we're getting arrested. I'm saying that until they say, hey, you're not supposed to be here, you got to go. That's all I'm talking about. You don't go in a car and sit in a car. Of course, Mel's right then. You can't, no one would see it. Unless we could rig up some kind of thing on a car that with a big flag, which we don't have. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, get out of the car, walk with the banner, walk with the signs, make sure they notice us. They kick us out and then we go home. Then we all go for pancakes. Okay.
Emily is actually going to close out the stack and then we'll call the question.
I feel like I'm talking without any information because I really don't know exactly what this event is going to be. Steve put up some stuff that said it was invitation only. So I'm not even sure how we would be getting in, or I should say you would be getting in because I wouldn't be going. I understand what Ron is saying about when is the time that we can say who we are and say what we believe. I think that this time is an especially inappropriate time because there is so much information right now about the Biden campaign being obstructed. And I think that if we go out as the Green Party, it's going to be interpreted as being part of that obstruction. And I think emotions are really high right now about the theft of the election and blah, blah, blah. And I think it would really and truly play into that. But again, I don't really understand what this event is. And so, as Mel said, logistically, I can't figure out what it would look like. And I think it might just look really kind of pathetic and goofy.
All right, we're calling the question. The question though is, what is the question? What's the motion here?
I'll make a motion that if we can summon 5 members, 5 of us, just not me and just not Matt, or just not me and Matt. If we can get 5 of us to carry the banner and say 3 signs, to go through, to walk through, I will volunteer my time to do that. So I say if the mission should be, if we can get, if 5 people agree, then we should do it.
Can you define do it in your motion?
To attend the Biden car rally and walk through the cars with our signage.
Can we not go into detail like of walking? Like my proposal would just be like to be outside near the event where people are going to be scrounged around to hear Lady Gaga. Not like, we don't know for sure if this is a private event or whatever. Stephen read something that it might be, but in that case, I think our best opportunity is to be posted up outside of it, where people are going to be crowding around to try to hear whether either Joe Biden speak or Lady Gaga sing or whatever like that. That was my idea.
You're right, Matt. I'm sorry I even said that. So yeah, I'll change my motion to say that if 5 of us can stand outside of the event, like near a roadside with our signs, because we can actually get more play out of that. We can get more time there before we can get kicked out.
Right.
The only people that would be able to kick us out then would be maybe the cops or somebody. And they probably wouldn't. It would probably be, they'd probably just let us go.
Sorry, can you repeat the motion? If 5 of us can stand outside, you kind of didn't finish it off.
Yeah, if 5 of us can stand outside the Biden car event with signage, then we should pass a resolution, or however you want to word it, to actually go and attend this event for the duration of its event holding signage.
Okay. How about if 5 of us can stand outside the Biden Gaga event with signage, then we should attend the event. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
As Greens.
I second.
The motion does make sense, because what we're saying is they have permission to do it as the Green Party, as opposed to just going as individuals. So that we need to vote that motion up or down.
I'll read it to you as I just wrote it. Ron motions for Green Party of Allegheny County to attend the Biden Gaga car rally tomorrow and stand outside the event with signs and banners, contingent on 5+ members committing to go.
You go, math girl. You write it up.
Okay, that is the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. I guess, does anyone have a blocking concern?
Yes. My blocking concern is we need someone who is trained in talking to the media and will have a pre-written statement and guidelines about talking to the media, who's going to be our one person who talks to the media, because I'm not letting a rando talk to the media.
Well, I'll be there.
And also, can I ask how one abstains from this vote?
I think you're allowed to abstain. I don't know Robert's rules. I'm not a law major.
I don't think this is Robert's rules. It's some sort of, Garrett, tell us what to do. You're the
So
best
Ron,
expert on
you're trained
consent.
in writing media. That can be different from talking to media.
I feel like that's a high request, Kelly, for this like crew of five people.
Well, if we
just saying.
prepare a little statement, like if Ron can craft a statement, Kelly, would you be all right with that? And then you just read from that?
I would be okay if someone crafts a statement and that is what we release to the media. Like I'm really nervous about what Emily said about them twisting our presence there as opposition to the Biden campaign and ruining the election. Like they will twist any one small thing you say, so we can't give them that opportunity.
All I can say is that I would write a statement and I would deliver it to the media, like I've done for corporations and organizations throughout my career. And if they wanted to ask questions, I would answer them to the best of my ability.
Live on camera?
Based on the 4 pillars of the Green Party.
Does that address your concern, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else have a blocking concern? Going once, going twice. Riley's your last chance. All
I
right.
mean, like it's nothing that I haven't already said at this point. Like I
Okay.
think if we
You're
go
still
as the
allowed to
Green
say that
Party,
your concern blocks.
Well, you can have a concern that's non-blocking also, which you've expressed.
I'm not sure I really understand what a blocking concern means.
You don't have anything.
That's our fault.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, we have to have 5 people. Are there 5 people who are going to go?
That was going to be my non-blocking concern, Emily, that we need 5 volunteers tonight, right now, to say that, yes, I'm one. We need 4 more.
Right, so if there are not 5 people, then I'm not going to bother blocking. But if there are 5 people, then I'm probably going to block. How's that?
All right,
that's
well,
fair.
I mean, it's contingent on getting 5 people, so it sounds like you should block.
Yeah, okay, but before we bother with this motion and figuring out what we do when we have a blocking concern, because we don't usually do that, let's figure out whether the point is moot anyway. Who are our 5 people? We have Ron and Matt.
I would like to go, but I assume my campaign would recommend that I do not. So
Yeah,
I will not.
please don't go.
Yeah. Sorry,
That's not
Jay.
the point, Jay. She wants to know which 5
Fine.
people, not your opinions about it.
No, I'm saying like I would
Jay's
be one
saying
of those
he wants
5
to be a
people,
person,
but
but I'm gonna shoot him down on that. Nope. Okay, I don't think we have 5 people.
I'm betting Don Johnson will be down. Like I feel like 5 people could be found. Jack,
Jay, it's about 5 people right now. It's not about trying to find them in the next 24 hours. Come on.
That's a lesson Jay is still learning.
I'm just saying, like, we could easily get a group of 5 greens tomorrow. No problem.
Well, if it's contingent upon getting 5, I mean, can't we just work to
All
get
right.
them by tomorrow? And if we can't get them together, we don't do it?
I just don't want it to be me and Matt. That would be a pitiful, you see what I mean? That would not.
Oh, yeah, I totally see what you mean.
Yes.
Yes, we
Just
need
need a
5 people.
handful of people, at least a handful, just to be there to hold the signs. You know?
I mean, there's only so many people here right now. We'd be excluding a lot of other people if we just decided right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the call, I'll say that. But also, Emily, could you explain your blocking concern? You said you had a blocking concern, but I think you have to express what the concern is. I mean, maybe you've already expressed it, but just to kind of like reiterate.
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, this is your blocking concern that we're talking about, right?
Okay, so my concern is that there's been a lot of conversation right now and very divergent ideas about whether or not we should be doing this. If we don't have 5 people right now who have heard what we're talking about, and we are going to agree that 3 more people who have not been a part of this conversation and who may not be agreeing on exactly what the messaging is, then I feel very unsettled about putting that out for 3 people who haven't heard anything about this to speak for the Green Party. That's my blocking concern. It's a little bit too important for enough people on this call to be doing something without a more thought out presentation, which we're not going to be able to have if the people who are going to be there aren't here talking about it right now. That's my blocking concern.
All right. Well,
I guess like, can I say one more thing too?
Sure.
The other thing is that like just people who are going to be there aside, like we've talked about that already. I don't think an equally important aspect of this that has not come up yet is what are people going to like spread by word of mouth, and what articles are going to be written about it if there are any. And if there are indeed any articles, for instance, then like they're not going to have headlines. Green Party wants to ban fracking. They're going to have headlines that are incredibly misleading, like Green Party crashes Biden event with anti-Biden signs and stuff like that. And the libs that are going to be at the event are going to tell all their friends and bitch on social media about how the Greens are at it again, trying to steal the election for Trump and, whatever nonsense they come up with. And I think that is going to reach far more people than our intended message is going to reach. That is the last thing that I will say regarding this.
I think we need to go to a vote. I think we have to go to a vote. And luckily, I think everyone here is a registered Green. Actually, I don't know what Riley's current registration status is. He might not be registered Green.
Yeah, I guess I can't vote because
do it, Riley. Now what's gonna happen?
Riley.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Okay, I also.
Hold on, I got a question. Why can't Riley vote?
I registered Democrat to vote in the primary.
Okay.
And I don't think my registration back ever went through. And then I didn't want to re-register again so close to the election because I don't want my vote to get thrown out.
And I am in the same boat as Riley, so I can't vote either.
Damn it.
Good to know. Yeah, I didn't think there'd be this extremely important vote right before the election, did you? Secret Sunday meeting. All right, I feel like we can just do like hands raised. Does that work for everyone?
Jay, I hate to tell you this, but the motion, we have to change the motion then, because the motion is if we get 5, and there aren't 5 people here that want to do it. So we have to have a different motion that where you're gonna try to get people to come and join us, I guess. I don't know what that motion would be.
Oh, Jay, in Jay's mind, also in like the way the thing is written, I guess, it's just 5+ members are committing to go. So that's not necessarily like right now.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like if you can get 5 members to go, then you'll do it. And if you can't, you won't do it. That's like the idea. We didn't specify at this meeting or by a certain time. Like there was no timeline. It was like, if you get 5 people to agree to go before the event, you can go to the event as the Green Party. Otherwise, you just, riding solo.
The event's in 20 hours or something. Like,
so that means if they can't get 5 Greens together.
Right now. Okay.
I don't know how we're going to get 5 members. I don't know how I'm going to know about them or how Matt's going to know about them.
Then withdraw the motion.
Well, I mean, Jay, did one of you, did you or someone else contact someone else with, what was it?
Over.
Yeah,
I texted Jack, who's agreeing in over.
Okay, and we can advertise
says-
on Slack as well, and then we would find out from people that way. And if we don't have, I'm not sure what time the event is. Can we come up with like a time tomorrow? If we don't have 5 by then we call it quits.
That time should be today.
Is someone trying to propose amending the motion in my made up rules about how to run this meeting? Are you proposing to amend the motion, Matt?
No, because you said it doesn't, well, I don't think it needs to specify. It doesn't specify the
Sure.
time, but I mean, I think we're all reasonable people. If we don't have 5 people tomorrow, we're not going to go out crazy with waving green stuff and destroy our party's image, you know? I don't think we have to worry about that. If we don't have 5, Ron and I won't do anything. I mean, so we can try tonight and tomorrow to get 5 people, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
All right, I think we got to take it to a vote, guys. Vote of greens. End of discussion. It was a very robust discussion, though. Like almost everybody participated, so that's like never happened before. Can we do like a visual vote like this? Hands up, hands down. What do people think? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm gonna say the names of each person that I record as voting for each thing. I would
Okay,
like
so you want to do a roll call?
Yeah, some people aren't visual. Some people are just on their phones and stuff, it looks like.
Yeah,
All right,
you can
let's do a
do the
verbal
little
vote,
raise
roll
hand
call.
thing, but
I will read through the roll, and then you can mark it down, Kelly. How about that?
why don't I just read through it since I'm gonna be typing it?
Perfect. I like that even better.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna read the names as they are across my screen.
Wait, time out. Let me just reread the motion.
Oh, yes, reread the
you should
motion.
read it.
Tell us what all of our options are for voting.
Oh, it's going to be yes or no. And the motion
There's
is,
no abstain?
oh, and abstain.
Okay, thank you. Yes, no, or abstain. Okay. Go ahead and reread the motion. Actually, I guess I'll reread the motion.
You
'cause
should
I have
reread it because you have the actual copy.
All right, here we go. Ron motioned that Green Party of Allegheny County is to attend the Biden Gaga car rally tomorrow and stand outside the event with signs and banners, contingent on 5 or more members committing to go. Matt seconded. We had some concerns. Okay. Garrett. Oh, what did you say?
Oh, you you started with me, and I was trying to think about it.
Oh, sorry. You're first on my screen.
Yeah.
I'll give everyone a moment to think. Let's do like 30 seconds. Everyone think, lock in your vote or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know how this works.
Yeah. Well, let me say.
Everyone votes first.
Yeah. Let me.
Actually, no, wait. Yeah, this should be a secret ballot. This can't be. No, we can't do it this way.
It doesn't strictly have to be secret, but certainly if there's concerns.
If everyone's like, oh, I gotta wait to see how everyone else votes, that's not a legit vote at all.
No.
That has zero integrity. Okay, here's
Anybody
what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a Google form.
Wait, no, come on. Does anybody want a secret ballot? Like, really? I mean, I guess Kelly wants one. Kelly, come on. We're all friends here.
We discussed this in executive committee. What do we do when this happens? And every time it's been like, I don't know, we could do this. I don't know, we could do that. It would be really hard. And it never happens anyway. That's literally our discussion every time.
Can we use the Zoom poll feature at least?
We are all friends. I'm personally not gonna judge anybody badly.
No, it's not about judging. It's about changing your mind. It's a psychological thing. After you hear people's votes, you will change your mind.
Not me.
Shut up,
Not
Jay.
when I'm in office.
Okay, everyone else argue for 60 more seconds while I make this Google form.
Well, I think Kelly is right. I mean, that if there's a wave of no or a wave of yes, people will be more likely toward the end of the roll call to be swayed a little bit. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, so Jack says he's in.
Yeah.
I like this idea for this action in general. Like, I like the idea of like doing more banner drops and like postering, you know. But I think like we got to do it with a coalition. Like, I feel like going off alone, you know.
Okay.
Well, I kind of agree. I think if we can get more people.
I honestly bet we could get more people for tomorrow, but I'm optimistic. I don't know.
That's why I said 5.
Yeah, if we can get more groups, like what is it, Over, and what else is there? Is GASP in Pittsburgh? I don't know, some more
Yes.
really anti-fracking.
They just did that big anti-immigrant thing.
Huh?
What?
Gas? You're not gonna get GASP?
Yeah, not GASP. That's crazy.
What's wrong with
The
what do they
right-wing
do?
Democrats.
GASP?
Oh, are they? Well, I mean, if we can get some.
Yeah,
My point is, if
yes.
we can get there's local anti-fracking groups. If we can get some people on board.
Group against smog and pollution? Is it because of their like birdie thing, their mascot?
No, you know what? I am going to say something that I'm not really clear on, but I just read an article, I think in Public Source, I'm not sure, but you know, Cordelia Scaife's very big anti-immigrant green Colcom, thank you. And GASP were just doing something together. Like GASP didn't get it, or they did get it and they didn't care.
Yeah, they fund like all of our nonprofits. They fund Clean Air Council, but they don't fund my position. But like we're talking about it internally. But like, you know, everyone's trying to cut their use of that funding. But it's like, yeah, this is a deep problem. Okay, we're ready. Kelly, drop us the link. Dominic, are you here? Dominic, you ready to vote?
Yep.
All right, sweet.
All right, let's do it.
We could always hook up with Serve the People. I'm sure they're always ready to have an action about not voting. They're here for revolution. Elections, no. Revolution, yes.
I'm gonna boycott these bourgeoisie elections. I think all leftists should do the same. Why aren't there any leftists in government? I don't understand.
Right, there shouldn't be talking during the voting process. We don't want to sway
I have
opinion.
a question. What's our rule about how much passes? Someone has to look it up in the bylaws.
Oh yeah, fuck. All right.
This is a good.
Also,
This is
how
a
many
good
people were
use
supposed to
of
vote
our.
just now? It's supposed to be, I'm going to read across my screen. Garrett, Kelly, Matt, Mel, Ron, Steven, Jay, Dylan. Wait, no, Dylan. Wait, are you registered to vote?
Yeah, I'm registered to vote.
Okay, I couldn't remember if you were old enough. I'm sorry. Dylan, Dominic, not Emily or Riley. So that is 9. I have 9.
Oh, okay, just throw out my vote then. I just submitted it without thinking about it. Bad.
Goodness, Riley.
Okay, well, I have 9. So one person hasn't voted yet.
It was me.
Oh.
It's really wonderfully entertaining. I want you all to know that.
Yeah, and we've recorded it so
Mel.
everyone can see this.
This is wonderful. Oh.
This is a good stretch, a good flex of our voting process. You know?
Yeah, I think so. And it's like, you know, not the most contentious thing for sure.
I just
Or
got
at least like
done
the
doing like a
stakes
week
aren't
long of
that
mock
high.
UN.
It's good.
I
And,
think
like,
this is a good
after this
test.
whole weekend of mock UN, it's like I'm reliving it already.
Mock UN.
Every Green Party vote I've been a part of so far has been like all unanimous votes for approving stuff.
Matt,
So
wait until that state party meeting for your proposal. It's gonna get hot there.
yeah, you're
We're
probably
gonna
right
be
about
counting
that.
up delegates. We're gonna be checking delegate statuses. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, Matt and Alex are making this like state party proposal that's like pretty transformative and it's controversial. All right, Kelly.
All right, bylaws, section 7, letter I says a 2/3 majority is required for proposals to pass.
Damn.
That's 6.
Okay.
At the request of any 2 members, the vote shall be taken by secret ballot. Oops, I guess I am now 2 members. Oops.
Violation. Ejected.
All right. I'm sorry.
You guys can also vote to kick Kelly out of the executive committee if you need to.
Never.
Not yet.
That'd be
She's
awesome.
on thin
Careful
ice.
what you wish for.
All right,
Oh,
tell us the results.
okay, so the results. Oh, I have to delete one. How do I do that?
Just don't read it. Just
No, but then I don't have the numbers about it.
It's all fraud. See, already this fraud. Trump was right.
What is this? The Iowa caucuses?
He lost the
5
ballot.
yeses,
He
2
lost the ballot.
no's, and 2 abstains. 5 yeses, 2 no's, and 2 abstains. So 5 out of 7 is 2/3, but 5 out of 9 is not 2/3.
Yeah, it's not 2/3. All right, well,
Is it 5 out of 9 or is it 5 out of 7 though? Because 2 abstained.
it's got to be 5 out of 9, right?
Is
I
that
would
okay?
think
That's what
nine.
Mel says.
Okay, yeah, that's like normal.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it rudely or anything like
No,
that.
no, it's okay. Okay, so we got 5 yeses out of 9. So that's not 2/3. The motion does not carry. I'm sorry, friends who wanted the motion to carry.
Let's do it another time soon, though. for
Okay,
sure.
Yeah,
Like,
this is a good. I think this is a good exercise, and I'm a little disappointed, but it's not the end of the world. You know, this wasn't like a hugely decisive thing. It was a good, practical and real, but also good exercise vote. I think.
it's because we do things by consensus, like, so that's why it's so high to remove a blocking concern, because it's like, you know, it's not 50% plus 1. It's although, yeah. I'm just gonna stop talking there.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes,
I sent out a
okay.
lot of messages to groups, so we're getting the conversation going. So, you know, I didn't make any promises. I was just like floating it out there. So maybe we can get something going, get a big coalition. You know, all the activist groups are trying to like become into formation more so than like not the nonprofit groups. Those people are never going to do anything like this. But the like DSA Eco-Socialists, Sunrise, Over, you know, those are people that we can get together for an action.
Yeah, I just want to go over the comments really quick that I'm seeing in chat. Riley says, I think it's a good idea. We should just do it after Tuesday. I agree. Garrett says, if I can add in, I absolutely support the concept, but the logistics of an event tomorrow we don't know the time or location of is a concern. We should look good and prepared at all actions, so support doing similar things in a more organized fashion in the future. I'm sure there will be plenty of opportunities after the election either way. Garrett has a very good point, and I think he's right. I'm really excited about the energy we brought to like trying to organize this last minute and be like, no, we have to go, like we have to be there. What should we do? Like, what should it look like? We need to bring that energy every time we plan an event, and it has to be a week before it at least instead of the day before. And I'm hoping that the energy that we brought today wasn't just like, it's panic mode time, it's last minute, we have to do it. Like, can we bring that next time, even when the event is a week or 2 weeks or a month in advance?
I do have a
Dylan
brief
just raised his
question.
hand.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
So are we sure that an abstention is not counted towards vote total? Because like, as I just mentioned, I just got done doing a weekend of mock UN, and that's not how we did it. Like, abstentions were not part of the vote. Like, so if you needed a super majority, then abstentions would not count towards the total. Should we like look that up or something?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. But maybe for the future, but for right now, I don't think so. No. I don't think we should for this decision.
Okay, I guess it depends on what your definition of abstentions are, according to Wikipedia. We didn't offer like a blank vote option. So abstaining versus not voting can be different things. It depends on what you define abstaining as. So I guess we need to really go through.
Like, no offense, but this is coming off like manipulation about like, oh, no, we're not going to consider that now because we don't want to do this anyway. So we'll just shut up. Everybody just needs to shut up at once.
I mean, most of us voted for it, Ron.
I know that's
Garrett,
the really sad part of it, you know.
Garrett, can you like look into that question and like bring it back to the General Assembly? The question of how abstentions work in overcoming a blocking concern in consensus voting, and like in connection with our bylaws. Is that something that you would be willing to do? I think people would be curious.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, I mean, you don't have to tell us the answer right now, but it would be good to know. Yeah, I do think it's good to be prepared for rapid response though, and I don't think we're really there. And that's basically getting into what Mel is talking about, post-election scenarios, right? Like we're kind of a mess right now. Our phone tree is not really well set up. If shit goes down after the election, everyone's on their own. We got the Slack and that's it.
But this is 5 people. This is 5 people in my statement. This isn't rapid response. This isn't like we have to like be super prepared weeks in advance.
Unrelated to the action, I'm just talking about in general. It would, we can't plan everything out. Sometimes we need rapid response. Wait, Kelly, before you go, it looked like Mel wanted to say something. Okay.
No, are we in general discussion now about what's coming? I'm not sure where we are on this agenda. Are we still
motion's over. We've been in general discussion, like the motion was proposed in general discussion. But I think Kelly wants to say something real quick and then we can go back to you, Mel.
I mean, wait a minute. I'm trying to ask, are we in the general where we start just open forum? Is that where we are?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Kelly, did you want to add something to the topic?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Ron's comment about like, this is just getting 5 people and doing my proposal. Yeah, if it were a small event, if it were a small thing and it wasn't going to affect our image as an entire party, yes, it would be no big deal. And I would have been much more in support of it. But, and like, I think we do have a rapid response team who is willing to go to a thing last minute. But in terms of organizing your own showing up at something, and like, it's something that that requires a lot more work and strategy than we have the capacity to do 20 hours before the event happens.
All right.
I'm going to throw it into chaos again.
Mel, Emily, you're up.
Yeah, thank you. I have not been listening for the last 2 minutes because I've been looking up on a couple of different sites about abstentions and how they count. Should I say it out loud or not? Because I think Ron's real upset and I just want to
I feel like we should kick it to Garrett because he said he had an answer on that and he has like maybe a better understanding of how the bylaws work with like our voting thing.
All right.
So
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening, so I didn't hear that part. Thanks.
You just typed it in the chat and then you can always add to what he said. Garrett, tell us what you found.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. Emily, my being upset is it has more to do with just this one motion.
Garrett, what'd you find?
I'd be interested to see what Emily found. Our bylaws are not very specific on how to handle abstentions, so that might be something we should consider clarifying in the future. For this particular motion, it doesn't matter because if it's 5 out of 9, you count all of the people, then it wouldn't pass. And if the abstentions don't count toward the vote, then it would be 7, which is less than our quorum requirement of 8. So then that motion wouldn't pass anyway.
All right, Emily, do you have anything to add to that?
Just what I found on 2 different sites, and both of them concur. One is MRSC, I don't even know what it is, and then the other was some kind of law and order site. And if you are calling a majority, the abstentions will count as a no vote if you are looking for a percentage. So abstentions count as no.
Okay, thank you, Emily.
Yeah, so I guess we need to like bring this to a close, but this is what democracy looks like, everyone. This is what it means to be part of a democratic organization. It's messy, it's trickier to do on Zoom, but I think we just worked our way through it. And I don't know if everyone is happy, but I think hopefully everyone understands, what happened. And yeah, register as green if you want to have a say in important decisions. That's the plug. So you can be part of our democratic decision making. And thank you to Ron and Matt for raising this idea. I think it's going to impact what we do going forwards. And like we've already gotten the ball rolling with other people. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of interest. Anyone have any like really brief closing thoughts? Because we're like past 8. Mel, go for it.
This is a general, open discussion now, right? To close out?
Yeah, but like keep it brief.
Just be ready for anything, folks. I don't think any of us know what's coming. We have no idea. There could be people in the streets for the next 4 days after the election, or it could be some probably not landslide that makes the GOP elite abandon him. I don't think any of us know what's coming. I think we need to be ready to move. We need to be in the streets, and we need to do united front shit. As much as I hate it, that's where we're at. Thank you.
Can we take a quick picture? Garrett, can you end the screen sharing and maybe the recording as well? And then we'll just take a quick picture and then we'll be done.
Yeah, I can't do that easily at the moment because I had to plug my laptop in and it's the other computer's running and it's, yeah.
Okay, sure. Everyone just like pop your cameras off if you're comfortable and I'll take a quick picture. All right. What's that?
You mean on. Pop your cameras on.
Sure, yeah. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I love it, Garrett. All right, cool. Thanks for coming, everyone. Super special Halloween edition General Assembly meeting. Next one is in December, and hope to see you all on election day. And let's just let it roll. Let those votes roll on in, and keep fighting along after that. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
You adjourn.
I guess we didn't technically adjourn.
Or do we not have to? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Motion to adjourn. Oh, now we don't have quorum anyway, so it's fine. I think we all agreed.
Yeah.
Does that mean we can't adjourn? We have to stay on all night?
We have to stay on forever until everyone comes back.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, good night, Mel.
Recess until the next meeting. See ya.
All right, see you guys.